say wow, let's enjoy some fun conversation. We'll be shooting the shelf around the nation. Let's start shooting the shelf.
Good morning, everyone. Happy October. Best month of the year. Welcome back to Shooting the Shelf here on the Just Shelve It channel. I am Jesse Arnold. This is Curtis. We've got our Dusty Swag merch shirts on tonight.
Shout out to Retro Rags for the fast shipping.
Yeah, that is some of the fastest shipping I've ever gotten from Retro Rags, I think.
Yeah,
which is
nice
fine.
work.
Like, that's not a complaint. It's just, it was really fast this time.
Yeah. I just wish.
Speaking of Retro Rags, before we dive into the welcome.
Oh, I think we might have a delay, but that's all right. Go ahead, Jesse.
Cool. Of course we do. How about now?
We're good. Go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, speaking of Retro Rags, you can go on there. You can get this shirt from Dusty and other things he's done, other fan art shirts, and the new Shooting the Shelf logo, the three-eyed rabbit skull logo, and a Meep if you are interested in a Just Shelve It one as well. And keep your eyes posted for more things to come.
And
in
the
the future.
Purple Gang's new shirt that is only available up until Legion's Con. After Legion's Con, it is retired. So you can only get it for the next couple weeks.
There you go.
So there you go.
Well, Curtis, who do we have in the chat tonight?
Well, before we do that, I gotta show this. I mean, this is the top. If you go to the fan art page, look at this lineup right here: Shooting the Shelf, Just Shelve It, PGG, Shooting the Shelf. We got it cornered. We got the top of Retro Rags cornered right now. So
fingers crossed, no one else adds any new stuff to the fan art section.
We are sandwiching PGG right in between you and me.
I don't know how I feel about that.
So yeah, go get your shirts. What I was going to say earlier when I stepped over you was that I wish I knew that PGG was putting out a shirt before I bought my Shooting the Shelf shirts, because then I had to place a second order, and then I got that, and then I found out that you put on the other Shooting the Shelf logo, and I was like, I can't do a third one. And then apparently I've got an Art by Akerman one coming, so yeah, just go on there, people, and place one order. Find all the shirts that you want. Keep in mind that if you wear a Retro Rag shirt to the Retro Rag table, they have a special gift for you at Legion's Con. And if you wear one of the Crossroads shirts, you can get 2 gifts. So,
typhus and malaria.
Maybe. We don't know what the gifts are. So,
are names of not diseases. Those are characters, right? No, that's just made up. I'm making jokes and they're getting out of hand. I'm going to stop talking.
Okay. In the chat, we have Crom316. This is normally where I would say this person was in the customizing studio or whatever, but I didn't go to customizing studio today because I went to a con. We had QuadCon in town, which is when Steve Mank from Articulated Empire comes to my neck of the woods. So he was here, so I had to go visit him. Yeah, it was a fun show. So I don't know. Maybe Mark was in the customizing studio. I'm not sure. But Mark's here. We got Brian Carr here as well. We got I Am. The rest is silent. We got Dub3 in the house because everybody needs a hot dog dub. We've got Stacy Lin. 2 Lins, price of 1. Blake, aka Recon Rage. If you're looking to get your workout on, he will be doing the mythic workouts in the morning at Legion's Con. You just got to wake up early. So Alberto Morales is here. We've also got Rad Toys Galaxy. Oh, did you? Yeah.
I was just waving. I was on Toy Mercs this week.
Okay.
And he's one of the hosts of the show.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. We got Darla Akerman here. I know her. She's right over there.
You know her. She's over there.
Yep. Dave Orkin is here. We also have
Santa?
Kevin Hamilton, a.k.a. Hamiltoes. Jeremy Govier in the house. Dusty Standiford, who had another amazing promo that they just ran on Latin Legions. And then Stephen Bisciotti cut an actually pretty decent promo live. It was the first one that he's done that's actually was pretty good, and all 8 people that watched Latin Legion saw it. So, yeah. Then we've got this guy.
Walakusiana, it's a chic video or something like that.
Nailed
One
it.
more time, Ricky. One more time.
Yeah.
Gugasico Kui echoes of real something like that.
Yeah, Google Sickle GUI, Echo Zaria, or something. We don't know. It's something like that. We got Jesse Marshall here. Jen, aka Lucky Sprinkles. She was highlighted in the Legion's Ladies Instagram this past week. They're doing a thing where they're like showing all the different ladies that are coming to Legion's Con. So you can kind of get to know who they are. So you can see their faces, and that way when you see them at Legion's Con, you can say hi. So if you're not already following Legion's Ladies on Instagram, make sure you're following that, and check out all of the cool ladies that are going to be there at Legion's Con. We got Liam Bradshaw here with us, as well as Eduardo de Jesus, who just finished their show. Let's see. We got Kevin Maboots here. Getting ready to see that guy. We got Dirk's Designs in the house. Dirk is taking over the whole world. So running the customizing studio event on Friday, running the part swap on Saturday, running Wolf King and Dirk's Designs. He's running 2 tables at once. I don't know. Dude, he's everywhere. We got Carver Customs. Brian Lynn is here. Yes, it will be Legion's Con soon. Not yet, but soon. We got Who Left Some Warlock in the house. Yes, Van, you did miss the song, and we just talked about that before we started the show. And then Kevin Boots pops in with a $4.99 super chat. I forgot we even had those. Good evening, shelf shooters. Remember,
Thank you, Kevin.
Yep. If you bring your IKEA receipts to Legion's Con for any shelves that you shot during the year, Jesse will reimburse you.
No, I will not.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was true. We got Collectible Fun Matt in the house. He was on Latin Legions as well in black and white for most of the episode. We've got Steph here as well. Steph, Captain Firebeard Baker. Scrolling. Dustin is here. Dustin came. We got Nate Strong. Brain Explosion Customs. Hey, Jeremy's here. Uwit the Sexy. He is also Uwit the Awesome because he just finished a nice little project for me. So appreciate him. Can't wait to get some. He's got some really good hugs. Can't wait to get a Jeremy hug at Legion's Con. So we got Schmerberberger here. He had a New to Mythics live today with Heinrich and the Borderland Horde people. They look like they're cutting a ransom video or something. They had all 4 of them on one camera. Kind of looked like it was Jesse's basement or something. I'm not sure what was going on there. But good episode. Check it out. And William Husted is here. Oh, and Freaks Figures is here. And I think that's everybody. So,
Kevin, I'm going to say black.
I like
black.
The black.
Black is classic.
The 2 that we got, I got black, and then Darla said we should get the blue. The blue looks nice too. So royal blue or nice. Black, I think, would be what I would recommend. So, yep. Is it true that Borderland Horde's been in your basement for the past 6 months?
No.
Another
is that Notorious Tofu? Welcome.
Oh, yep.
All right. Before more people jump on, let's bring on our guest so he's not sitting backstage for 2/3 of the show.
Nobody ask him if they can buy anything. We're not doing that tonight.
Which I think you just guaranteed someone's going to ask that. Now, folks, give a warm digital welcome as I find my right media assets here to the one, the only, Nate Baertsch.
Woo! Hey, guys.
Hey, it didn't repeat. I clicked the right button.
Good job. Welcome, Nate. Thanks for being on. You're doing quite the tour this week.
I seem to be. Yeah. It's great. It's wonderful.
Everybody's trying to get you all on at the same time. So
That's okay. You know, I just finished up art for a box, so I'm still probably getting yelled at for doing. I need to do more, but anyway,
all right.
it's a good time to have a break and be with my friends that I get to see here in just a couple weeks in person.
Are you ready? Are you ready for Legion's Con?
Mostly, I would say
Yeah.
mostly.
Gotcha.
I would say mostly. I've still got some work to do, both personally and for the studio for Legion's Con specifically. So, but I think in time, we should be good to go.
Beautiful.
George said it on for us. He was like, "We're ready. We'll be fine." Or,
Yes, that does appear to be a scaphoid behind Nate.
That is a scaphoid portrait behind me. Yes.
That's the extra head. When you put the one head on the figure, then you have the extra one. Then you just do a oil painting of it. So, yeah.
I mean, we can talk about it now, or we can talk about it later.
Have at it.
So,
Here,
if you're watching me on all the different on the various different channels, I've kind of said this, but I'll say it here again. This summer was awesome. I got to spend some time with my daughter. She has a studio at her university because she's a senior and she's a Bachelor of Fine Arts major. So she's teaching me how to oil paint, and so I would spend a couple hours on a Wednesday morning, once a week, and we'd go out and I would spend time with my girl and do some painting. And this is what kind of came of it. And the idea is, I'm going to sell it at Legion's Con.
Very cool. Also, next to that painting, Nate wants to know if that's the droid he's been looking for.
It is.
Oh, all right.
So, well, one of the two, anyway.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know where the second one is.
Thought you were going to tell him to move along.
I could go put the helmet on. Where is it? There it is. I could go put the helmet on and
Ooh, I have that helmet too.
Nice.
Good one.
Well, at the start of the show, we do a little thing called shelf selections, where Jesse and I found some photos this week that inspired us, and then we pull them up and talk about them. So we're going to get into that now.
Love it.
Starting off with the first one, which is one of mine, and this is Toy Photo Guy, and we got Zarya here with somebody covered up in the background. Looks like maybe that's a Enoch with a cape. And then got the Red Death blood puddle underneath of him, it looks like. I just thought this was kind of a cool, just walking away from that carnage shot. It's like those movies where there's like the explosions and the people are just coolly walking, with the explosions going behind them. So anyway, Jesse, thoughts on this one?
This is cool. I really love the two different color tone, the outdoor light or fire or whatever it is coming through the window. And then the cool blues inside are really cool. And then her just being that red and kind of shadowy in front. I don't think I've ever seen her posed quite like this, even though we had a picture of her that was horribly cropped last week. Sorry. This just, that makes the head sculpt look really different to me. And just really, really cool. Yeah. The whole walking away in slow motion shot totally tracks here. Nate,
thoughts on this one?
I love the heaven and hell kind of motif that's going on in here. Just like, in the battle between good and evil won on this one. For better or for worse. And and it's really good. Likewise, the pose stuck out to me as well. That's a great shot of her.
Well, I've heard that evil always triumphs over good because good is dumb. So
I've heard different, but that's okay.
That's what Lord Helmet said. So I don't know. I'm just quoting Spaceballs. So next one's one of Jesse's picks.
So this is from the _ Kiwi _ collector with a K. Got some, I believe these are the Diamond Select Lord of the Rings figures, Sam and Frodo and Gollum, next to a tree. Looks like a normal size tree to us, but with them it looks massive. And I just really like the natural elements of this. No, it doesn't look like they had to have any extra stuff going on. And it just, I love these movies, and this is a really cool shot.
Awesome. Nate, thoughts on this one?
Similar. These are comfort movies for me, especially this time of year. Like we always try to revisit the Fellowship and the Two Towers and Return of the King, and so this is making me think of that. We're very close to this point in the story here at home in our watching. Like
Nice.
we need to watch the Two Towers. That's where we're at.
Very cool. Yeah, I love the outdoor photography, especially when they can make the stuff around it, the plants and grass and trees and stuff, like make it look like it fits in scale. Like it always makes it seem a lot cooler. And I feel like they did a pretty good job of that here. Like this does feel like that could just be a huge old tree in the background. And all the debris underneath them feels like it's the right scale. So, and then the blurriness of the front where it kind of draws your eyes to the main character. So yeah, I really like that shot. Next one is one of my picks. And this is our buddy in the chat, Nate Strong. And I told Nate when I saw this one, I've never opened this character because I think he's kind of boring. And then I saw this photo and I was like, I'm stupid. So I will be opening this character this week because this just made him look way cool. And yeah, I just think this is an awesome shot. So he did a good job of selling me on something I already own. So there you go. Jesse, thoughts on this one?
This one was great. I love the light, the way it's, accentuating the color magic effect on his staff, and he's got the green magical paint on his face, and I believe on this one, I think, which is a cool alternate head. So seeing it with the green light, and seeing him like at a table, like doing his work is a really cool shot.
Awesome. Nate?
What's up, brother Nate? Just shouting out to Mr. Strong. And what I appreciate about this is it's a solid, clean design. Like you can clearly see what's going on. I think in many of us, in our mind's eye, when we think of a wizard conjuring up whatever he's going to conjure up or looking into whatever crystal ball, this is exactly what you see. Like this is an iconic shot. And it's nice to see it. Plus, I'm going to guess there's no added effects. Like this looks like it's all done purely with light and he just captured it. And because genuinely the figure and the environment is that cool.
Yeah, did an amazing job. Looks like that table, he says, is from Rocket Fist Customs, if anybody's interested. So nice. Next one's one of Jesse's.
This is our buddy Captain Firebeard Baker, Elijah. We'll get to see him in a couple weeks at Legion's Con. Cannot wait. And he's bringing his buddy Faisal, so it'll be cool to meet him in person. But this is one of his pictures. I think some of my picks were from a couple weeks ago, and I was looking through my photos and realized I did not put them in the slideshow because I had too many. So they came in this week. I just thought this was a fun little picture. You got Nubnik or whoever it is there. It looks like he's crawling out of a sack or something, whether he's escaping or infiltrating. And then you got the Silver Knight up there just taking a drink on some frosty ale and neglecting his duties. I just thought this was a real fun shot, and he always kills it. So it's hard to pick from the copious amounts of photos he takes, but this one had to go in.
Yeah, he always does a great job, and obviously he's a big fan of his goblins. This feels like a shot that we would normally see Snag in, like, this kind of sneaky, hiding kind of thing. And it's kind of cool to see a different goblin besides Snag in this kind of format. So love the setup too. I know Elijah does a lot of outdoor photography, so it's interesting to see him do stuff like with a dio and accessories and all that. We don't see it very often, but he did a great job here. So Nate Strong
said exactly what I wanted to say, which is just great storytelling, and I agree 100%. It's you look at the image and immediately you're figuring, your brain is going to, okay, what's the story here? How drunk is that night?
Mhm.
That kind of a thing. And the other thing that I noticed was, how did he get the Einsamal accessory pack already? Like, they're all right there. Like, I see
Close,
the food, I see
close.
the mug, I see the anyway. So no, this is awesome. Nice lighting, nice coloring. I like the color gradation that's over all of it. It looks good.
Elijah says, "Thank you, fellas. Always wonderful honor to make shelf selections with another great batch of images too. The Goblin collab is going strong. All are welcome to join. Speaking of goblins, don't forget 1,000 Swig event at Legions Con. Trying to get to 1,000 this year. So bring your swigs, customized, not customized, painted, popped and swapped, whatever. Bring your swigs." Next one is one of my picks. This is GI Joe _customs. And as far as I can tell, this is like just a repaint. Like, I don't think there's any different parts or anything like it in here. This is the Serpentor with his, air chariot, whatever they call that. Just completely repainted, including the soft goods. And I think it looks fantastic. Just did a really good job of like darkening this whole thing up, and giving it a more serious vibe. I mean, I like the kind of bright colors of Serpentor, but this gives it a whole different feel. So liked it, thought it was cool. Jesse?
A version of this got made, this would make me have a level of respect for Serpentor as a character I never got into as a kid. Just, that's not saying he's a bad character, just never clicked for me at that point. He felt too ridiculous for that show, I guess. But this looks really tough. And they did a great job painting. Marvel Legends are not as fun to customize as Mythic Legions and Cosmic Legions. They don't usually take the paint as nicely, so that's a lot of work and effort into redoing this. So well done. Yeah,
I mean, I'm sorry, Nate, I'll get to you in just a second, but like even on that vehicle, like, it, to me, it looks like metal. Like, I know I've got that. I know that it's just like ABS plastic. But like, just did a really good job on the metal, like highlighting and stuff on there. So, Nate.
Same. Overall, just beautiful execution of the paints on this. This looks professional and top notch. Like, I love the combination of materials in there. I love the unified color palette. I love the wear and tear that's on the vehicle is really nicely done. A lot of it's subtle in spots, but it's there. And likewise, what we said with the last one, there's storytelling on all that, which is it's just really cool to see. Nice work.
For sure. Jesse.
So this is I can't read it. It's either L or LE _ fire spray. This was an account my buddy Brendan turned me on to as a friend of his that does a lot of like Warhammer and D&D miniatures, which is what I think this is. I'm not 100% sure. But just the texture and the color and the gradation on the robes and stuff are just, especially if this is a miniature, getting the details that small and even and consistent is just incredible. So I had to throw it up there. Plus the blue skin with the red robe, it's very striking.
Yeah, this is not an account that I was following, but I am now, because that's what we do, folks. We follow accounts that come up on here so that we can make our Instagram that much cooler. It does look like this is about 3 3/4. So still
okay.
pretty tiny, but yeah, I think, you're right, especially on the robes, like the highlighting there really makes it look like it's cloth material. Like, it doesn't look like it's, plastic that's been painted. It looks like it's soft goods. So really good job on that for sure. Nate?
Yeah, just echoing what you guys are saying. If this is 3 3/4, that I'm still thinking about just painting the markings on the forehead and how clean and crisp that is. Just gorgeous work all around. Really, really striking figure, very beautiful.
Absolutely. Next is one of my picks. This is posing _action _figures. And this is just badass. Like, I mean, there's not much I could say other than this is just freaking cool. I wouldn't want to turn a corner and see this staring at me. This is frightening in a very awesome way. So, Nate, we'll go to you first.
Cool, thanks. Now the Torpiculi are phenomenal figures, and you can tell just from this image that they're having a ton of fun with their Torpiculi. Like the mixing and matching, the part swapping, the additional custom pieces, but then also composing it all with Maxilius, or maybe in this case it's just Death. And it's beautiful. Like I love it. I love that there's, I mean, I often do this also with my photography. I'll cant it to an angle just to add interest to the composition and kind of set it on edge. It's something that you tend to see a lot of, and this is beautifully done. Love it.
Awesome. Jesse?
I believe those in the industry call that a Dutch angle. I know that's a thing. I don't know if that's the right thing. I just wanted to sound smart for a second.
I think you mean Dutch oven is what you're trying to say.
No, that's definitely not what I meant.
Gotcha.
I'll second and third everything you guys just said, and the fact that this looks to be, at least the setting, I don't know if it's outside physically, but like the setting is like broad daylight. And this is terrifying. Like that, to me, that's when you know a horror movie or a scary moment is working, is if you buy it when it's broad daylight and you're uncomfortable, because either the effects are so good or there's no CGI or it's very limited. But like to see something like this in broad daylight, we're supposed to be safe and happy. And the dark is the scary place, and just this, and it's got that dark tones coming up. I don't know if there's light coming up from below, but this is just this is really cool.
Yep. I know Trevor and Nate were both watching. Let us know whether this is a Dutch angle or a Dutch oven, if you could, in the chat. So
it's definitely not a Dutch oven.
I'm just not sure about that. I think this is your pick too, right?
Well, the last one wasn't.
Oh, yeah. The last one was mine. So this is yours.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So this is mine. This is KB Toys 92. Been seeing tons of amazing shots of the new Figure Obscura Jersey Devil. There's so many, but this one, just that lighting, that kind of blue, cool tone lighting, and then the warmth of that kind of almost, what did you call it? Like the root beer barrel. Candy and the translucent wings, and the way it's like lighting up his arms and stuff just feels I just really liked the color grading on this one, and then the stark highlights coming from the back of the character, like hitting the back of the neck and the sides of the face. I think they're really cool.
Awesome. Nate?
I love every time that this kind of photo is going to make me smile every time, because they're using the packaging for the backdrop. And I'll forever love that. In this case, it's not my painting. It's Tom Tolman's painting. So it's just really cool to see that. Yeah. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, clean, crisp shot of the figure. So kudos.
Speaking of crisp, this morning, Darla made me some cinnamon rolls. And, sometimes the cinnamon kind of leaks out onto the pan, and then as it cooks, like it kind of crisps up, and it looked just like these wings. So that, just FYI, that's what popped in my head when I saw this picture.
You and I have very similar appreciation of the best stuff to eat out of a cinnamon roll.
Right. So when I saw this picture come up, I'm like, tasty. But that being said, good use of the figure. It does look fierce. I know I've heard some people mentioning, I think last night on Oz's Clubhouse, they were talking about it, that like when you look at like pictures of like what the Jersey Devil like is reported to have looked like and stuff, it's not really scary. It's just like weird, right? But I feel like the Horsemen really like amped it up and like kept certain things that make sense to the story and the tales and stuff, but then also put their own spin on it, that makes it terrifying and cool, but still true to what the source material is. So kudos to them, and great shot here. Just nice pose and angle. Yeah.
if I can add on to that, we've seen the sketch that's included in the artwork for the box or the packaging, right? That the newspaper drawing. We've seen drawings that people have done in the past, like especially like the medieval and like Renaissance art of like people drawing like rhinoceroses and like giraffes and these different animals, and it's like you would never think that that's what they were trying to draw. So maybe something they saw looked more like this, but the person just doesn't understand what the person was like a police sketch artist that doesn't know how to do their job.
Could be. We do have one vote out there for Dutch angle. So there's
that
one
looks
for
like a smack my face.
Yeah.
Emoji.
If there's anybody out there for Dutch oven, let us know. But we're going to keep on moving along. This is one of my picks. This is Rippic_tan. And, I love when you kind of can like picture two properties being merged and then think about what that story would be like. And a Batman versus Predator movie sounds pretty freaking cool. Like I would like to see a Batman versus Predator movie. So you don't even have Batman in this, but just the fact that you've got, that bat signal kind of lit up and he's going to be coming, and here's the Predator like ready. It just makes me excited for what's going to happen next. So, and then, cool, with the rain coming down and then the light and everything, like it just great work as far as all the setup. So, Nate.
I agree with Freaks Figures. The comic was awesome, and this that's what popped into my head immediately looking at this was that old comic. I got it back in the day in the 90s, and I've wanted to see this movie ever since, and this beautiful photo here just makes me want it all the more.
See, Alberto, the problem is I don't read, so that's the problem.
You do. You keep saying that. You read. Stop.
I don't
stop trying to make people feel bad for you,
Jesse. I'm not saying I can't read. I just don't read. Go ahead, Jesse.
No, this is great, and you'll. It was just kismet that this picture landed where it did in the cycle compared to what the picture you'll see coming next, because you might get a little bit more of the story. But it might not be what you think.
Oh boy.
But this is really cool. I agree with everything. I think there was a fan short years ago on YouTube. I think it was like Batman versus the Alien and Predator, or it was Batman versus the Alien, and then Joker shows up, and then the Predator. It was, a real short, fan film, but it was pretty cool. And that's what this immediately made me think of. But it's just lighting, the rain. It's just, I definitely want to see this movie happen now.
Well, if anybody wants to read Batman versus Predator to me, just hit me up in my DMs.
A comic book. You have to look at the pictures too.
So and apparently this is Jesse's from the same one.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was the same person when I was putting them in the slideshow. I was like, here's the rest of the story. Predator, for some reason, coordinated with Gordon to summon Batman because the xenomorphs were invading. And here's Batman full up in his armor, just flailing that thing around like a gorilla threw a raccoon out of his enclosure in the zoo video I saw once. Again, killer lighting, the two-tone, the cool and the warm color lighting, and just this pose is just phenomenal. Absolutely love it.
Nate?
This is right up my son's alley. I'm gonna have to show Caleb this because he's big time into Alien, and I've talked to him. We've watched that very fan made movie together. So yeah, we totally want that to happen if it could in real life. But to speak back to this photography again, you have me at the warms and the cools, and I always love this color combo, and this. What it's doing is it's framing Batman just so beautifully. And you've got the backlight hitting it. I mean, this all the right things are happening in this as far as storytelling and the coloring and the lighting. It's awesome.
Yeah, the picture is great. This is not a story I'd want to see. I am not an Aliens fan. They creep me out like that. it's like spiders to Jesse. Like I like Predator. I'm not an Aliens fan. So
Fair.
yeah, I don't know that I'd want to see this. Even if Batman wins, like I still don't know that I want to see that. It's just creepy. But you're right. The lighting, the way that it's framed, like the fact that he's kicking butt is very cool. So nice shot. Next one is from our good buddy Ryan Gonzalez, aka Rygon, aka Toy Goofin' Gons on Instagram. This is the Red Hood Mezco figure that just came out. And when it came out, I skipped out on it because I was like, I don't need it. I looked at the photos. I was like, it's cool. I love Red Hood. It's like my favorite DC character, but I don't need to pick up this figure. And then I saw this photo and I said, oh shit, I need to get this figure. And it was already sold out, but luckily that I put myself on the wait list and the wait list converted, and now it's up for pre-order again. So if you did not get this figure and you want it, you need to go and jump on it now before that pre-order is out. But great job by Ryan. Anytime that somebody can sell a product with the photo, I think you did a great job. And that's exactly what you did here. So, yeah, just great work. Nate?
Likewise, this is good. A lot of the similar stuff that I have said before in past photos. Again, this one looks like there's no Photoshop involved. It's captured completely and purely. I love the background. I love what's going on here. I want to see the next panel. Like, that's where you know it's good, is that you're looking at this and it's like, okay, it's just like reading a comic and I just want to keep going.
For sure. Jesse?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. This feels like that splash page in the middle of a comic, where, the page right before you flip it over, you see that, Red Hood's drawn the gun, Joker's pulling something out of his jacket, and then this is the big page. The big reveal is them like standing off like this, and it's like the color. I can't remember which colorist from the comics, but it's giving me very strong vibes to some comics recently that I've seen. Well, not quite recently, but just the tones and the way the shadows and stuff are, it just feels very, very comic book. And yeah, I want to read this story.
Yeah, I remember when I did my how they do that with Ryan. Like he doesn't even typically use like stands for the figures in the photos because he doesn't use Photoshop to edit it out. So everything is just natural, and I think that makes this all that much more impressive, and just the angle of it. And I think that it's just it like when I first saw this, I was like in awe and I wanted to buy it. And then the second time I saw it, I was like, I just love that Joker's reaction to get a gun in his face is to pull out those chattering teeth. Like that's his defense. It's so Joker. So yeah, great job, Ryan. Next, Jesse.
This is from Toy Mirth. I don't know what this is other than it's a Pokemon, but it's a fish character jumping out of the water. And there's actual water effects in there, or they splash, or however they did it. I don't know. I think they do behind the scenes, but I just thought it was really fun. And it just made me smile. So I had to include this one.
Very cool. Nate?
Same. This reminds me of a day that I took Caleb out to shoot some stormtroopers in a little marshy area kind of by our house. And I just know that that's a fun day. Like, no matter who you are, like if you're taking your toys out and you're playing with them in water, in nature, and all that stuff, kudos. But then also, this is a great composition. Like this could be an ad for this toy. Honestly, it's awesome. I'm not into Pokemon. I don't know what the fish is or anything, but this is beautifully done.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to catch this fish, then maybe you can catch them all. So I don't know. It is nice use of the outdoor use of nature combined with the toys, and anytime that you can do that, and I know we've talked about it on here, like the fact that you've got to make sure that you have the right time of day, and you've got everything that's going on for you so that you can capture that photo the way you want to. So yeah, great work on this. And then, how they caught it in midair. I don't know what went into this, or if there was some sort of stand in the water that was photoshopped out, but it looks cool. So great job. Next one is one of mine, and this is actually from Maverick Architect, who I just did a How'd They Do That with. It dropped this morning for members on the Art by Akerman channel. Tomorrow it'll be available for everybody else. I would encourage everybody to go and watch that, not just because it's on my channel, but like he is just a really awesome dude, and he does these amazing swaps. And there's been a couple that he's thrown some paint on, but for the most part, he is just doing popping and swapping. But he does popping and swapping between Cosmic and Mythic, between Figure Obscura and Mythic and Cosmic. And he comes up with these creations that feel like fully realized characters and just does such a great job. So if you are not following him on Instagram, it's Maverick Phantasmagora on Instagram. He posts in the Cabal as Maverick Architect. And this was just one of those that I thought was cool. You're combining some of the Knight parts with the Velic Ox Crew parts with the Otho. And then I think he has the Zende cape in there, and just all of those kind of the blues all blend together with the metallic, and it just all really works. I love it. So, Nate?
Agreed. Talking about having just one single image make you want to see a movie. I want to see this movie.
Oh yeah.
This character is compelling, and I need to follow this guy. I don't think I follow him, so I'm gonna have to change that, because this pop and swap is phenomenal. That's the first thing that hit me looking at this photo, was just what a phenomenal pop and swap between Mythic and Cosmic and Figura.
Yeah.
And so this is beautiful. Nice.
Yeah, whenever they're doing like pop and swap contests and stuff, he's always in the running because his stuff is just fantastic. So Jesse.
Yeah, I love it. The Figura piece, the Anubis collar, just really adds just that extra little bit of element than if it had been like the chainmail piece. Like it sells the Cosmic thing to a different level. Like, I don't know, this feels like Cosmic Knights of the Round Table or something. And I absolutely, I'm glad you picked this one, because it was in my running to grab it. So I was able to put one of my other ones back in.
Very cool.
And the blues work really good. It's really cool. Yeah, I want to know what this story is. And
Dub3 says very Warhammer. If you like Warhammer, he did one like a couple weeks ago, I think, that is very Warhammer inspired, where he took the Velic mixed with some other parts, and it's using the Jacob Marley secret head. It's awesome. So, but we also look at that in the How They Do That, so you can either see it there or take a look at his Instagram. But yeah, he intentionally did some Warhammer stuff with this.
Yes, he did. I'm on his page right now.
It's very cool. Next one is one of my picks. This is did we both pick this? We must have, because I don't know if I sent it to you, but I definitely saved this.
You didn't send it to me because
okay. Well, there you go.
Because it still has the number on the picture, so clearly that's not your screen grab.
I did one earlier that had the number. I was ashamed of myself.
Oh, thank you for outing yourself.
Yeah.
No, this is Emerald_Knight_photos. I think maybe someone sent this to both of us as your recommendation.
I think that might be it. Yeah.
But you did not send it in the batch, or if you did, I somehow missed downloading it. But yeah, got one of the undead builders with Beluolith. Just seeing love blossoming in the rotting pumpkin patch this time of year, it just brings a smile to my face. Just because their noses have fallen off doesn't mean that they don't deserve to find happiness together. So Kevin Boots says it, sent it.
Nate, thoughts on this one and the no-nose couple?
On the no-nose?
Yeah.
This is beautiful. Like, whether they're undead, whether they were living and orcs, whatever they are, the storytelling is solid, and it's a beautiful story. And it does. It makes you think of, hey, love happens anywhere and everywhere. Let it be. So I love it. It's great. I do love the overall color composition. I love I just love how they're looking at each other. Yeah, I'm not a big zombie guy.
Mhm.
Newsflash, but I'd watch this. This is
Awesome. Yeah, this makes me feel like if it happened in real life, Jesse would boo. This is kind of what I feel like. So, but
I cannot wait for December so I can set this record straight.
but no, awesome photo. If I guess I didn't send it to Jesse, but I definitely wanted to. This was a awesome shot. Love the mix of like the dio parts and the greenery and the fact that he's, got the flowers there and just on one knee, and it just all works. It's creepy but fun, and yeah, I like it.
Also, there's a little humor here. It almost looks like she's not having it.
Yeah. Yeah. She never looks exactly like happy, but and then I've got one more. So that was supposed to be it, but I did have one more. So this is Sean Manning _art. And whenever we have a toy show called QuadCon that hits up like kind of the Midwest area. Sometimes it's in Chicago, sometimes it's in Missouri, sometimes it's in Iowa. It kind of goes around. And it was in my neck of the woods here in St. Charles today. Went to go visit my buddy Steve Mank from Articulated Empire. You may know him as Articulated Times on Instagram. And whenever I go there, I try to find some artist that I can highlight on the show. And this is one that I found today. Just had a bunch of amazing prints, but then he also had some one-of-a-kind art at the table that you could buy. So I thought that was cool that you could, either buy the prints for cheaper, or if you wanted a one-of-a-kind piece, you could do that. And this was one of the one-of-a-kind pieces. I thought Jesse might enjoy this one. And, just wanted to throw some love out there to somebody that may not be known in this community. So, Jesse, thoughts on this one?
This is fantastic. I wish I could see it on a bigger screen, because apparently my having YouTube running on my other screen slows me down. So I'll have to go follow this guy's page after the show and definitely take a look at it over there. This is awesome. Everybody knows she's one of my top favorite characters of all time. And he did a really great job. And that looks like it's all done with like Copic markers or something, and maybe colored pencil. I'm not sure, but markers are a pain to color with, and this looks great.
Yep. Nate.
Very clean. Again, immediately recognize who it is. And that takes me back to a happy place. When I was getting into comics again in my high school years, I started with Batman comics, but then very quickly also got into the X-Men stuff during this time period. And it was I love her eyes. I love the color. Yeah, this is a nice piece. Gonna have to give this guy a follow.
I sent that photo to you, Jesse, because I don't know if this one's actually on his Instagram, because it was one of the kind pieces.
Okay.
But I sent this to you. But yeah, he does have some amazing stuff on his Instagram as well. So
You just cropped his name on there?
Yeah, I just added his name to it and made it look all fancy. So that is it for shelf selections. But got one more piece of art that I said that I would share with Nate to get his thoughts on. And this is a piece that my daughter just finished today. And I told her that I would pull it up and get your thoughts on this piece. I believe it's all done with pastels. So,
wow. What is it, just paper that she's on, or is it a
I believe she normally does on canvas, but it does look like this one might be paper. So it's definitely on big because it's on an easel there.
It is big. It's really nice. I love the reflectivity in the glass. I like doing still lifes. Still lifes are very overrated, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people will just glaze over them, but man, a really good still life can capture you and make you feel something, which is what art is supposed to do at the end of the day. This is nice. I always love a red blue combo on stuff, and so to see that she's tackling like fabric, that's also not an easy thing to do, especially still life fabric.
Any feedback that you would have for this aspiring artist?
Sure. Check your light sources. Like I had mentioned on the glass, if there's a really stark, I'm looking at the wine bottle. If there's that really stark highlight there probably needs to be a matching one on that glass up above. Unless, of course, whatever references that she's looking at, just make sure that she captures that. Because I can see that there's still a stark highlight, but to have them in different spots feels a little off. But also, she could probably push some of the values a little more on the box that the pepper in the drinking glass is sitting on. A lot of the sides are feeling, a lot of the faces are feeling kind of the same. So I think it'll read a little more clearly if she can introduce a little more value interest, I would say, on the side that's kind of facing towards the wine bottle.
Okay.
That could go darker, but then that face could also be picking up some of the reflected light from the whatever the yellow blanket is or cloth that it's sitting on.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, thank you. She will really appreciate that.
Keep going. It's awesome.
Very cool.
Oh, and forget what I think.
Oh, go ahead, Jesse. Sorry.
I don't have the insight that Nate has into the everything, but that's really cool. I also tend to just gloss over still lifes when I see them, because usually they're very brown and bland to me, or very like just white taupe, boring. But the colors in this really catch my eyes. And with the yellow and the blue and the red, you got either three primary colors, and the yellow being in opposite, it just draws my eyes everywhere. I really like it.
Yeah, I like the fabric. I think the movement and stuff in it looks really good. So yeah, awesome. Thank you for the kind words. I'm sure she'll appreciate that. And then I had one more thing to show while I was at the show today, because I've been working on a Vanguard, which showed a little bit last night on Oz's Clubhouse. I've been repainting the Vanguard because when I saw Four Horsemen did Monitored Zombies, I was like, I want to run those things over. So I needed to get a Vanguard so I could plow them down, but I also need like a zombie apocalypse crew to take out those zombies. And so this was the team that I put together. Picked up a couple pieces from Steve Menk, picked up a couple pieces from some other vendors there at the show. And this is my zombie apocalypse team that's going to be riding in that Vanguard and plowing over Four Horsemen zombies. So
that's
had
awesome.
to get a dog in there too, because you got to have a dog. So
Just don't let the dog become a zombie.
No, don't. Yeah, don't do that.
I want to see that movie that's out now I think it's called Good Boy. It's like a zombie apocalypse. It's a movie, but it's like a zombie apocalypse, but from the dog's perspective.
Okay.
As long as it doesn't end with the dog dying, I want to see it. I don't know if someone's seen it, don't comment in the chat. But if someone's seen it, send me a message and let me know if the dog lives or dies. Except Van. If Van or Jordan text me, or actually no, none of you. I don't trust any of you.
Turns out it's just I Am Legend, but from the dog's perspective.
There you go.
So it ends 2/3 of the way through the movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe G, if you're watching.
Yeah, that's one of the few things that makes Joe tear up is that. And then the other one is in Independence Day. It's the stupidest thing. The people that are up on the rooftop, like with the signs and stuff, like excited for the aliens. When they die, Joe gets sad about that. I'm like, those people deserve to die. Like those people are idiots. Like that is Darwinism. That is survival of the fittest. Like if anybody deserves to die, it's those people. He gets sad when those sign people die. And I'm like, that is not who you should feel. That's not who you feel bad for. So
I love that Van sent you a DM anyway, Jesse.
What? Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to trust whatever the DM says. So that's where we're at, man.
So Nate, obviously, it's been a busy year. Horsemen have had a lot of things come out, with Figure Obscura and Mythic Legions, and you had the Dragon and all this kind of stuff. They also brought in another artist, kind of help, because there was a lot of work coming your way. Has that freed you up to do other things that you want to work on?
It will.
Okay.
It has and it hasn't, and it will, if that any of that makes sense. I know most that only makes sense in my brain, but yeah, having Tom come on and help, having Dave Williams come on and take on some of this stuff has been really, really, really good. Because if you stop and think about it, when I was first hired, we just barely started Figura. We had just barely started Cosmic, and we had Mythic Legions, and so I was plenty busy then. And then now we have Mythic Legacies, Cosmic, we have Figura, we have Infinite Legions,
Graveyard.
Yeah. I mean, it's like we add a property every year.
Yeah.
And there's still just me doing art chores. So we've been doing a lot, but what we've also been smarter about how I'm used. I'm going back to my old job a little bit. Like I said, when I was previous to Four Horsemen Studios, I worked at Imagine Learning, doing children's educational software, and I was a manager there. I was an art director. I managed an art team there, and so I'm stepping back into those shoes a little bit for the Four Horsemen as well. So if you're an artist that's working with the studio, you still unfortunately have to deal with me a little bit.
Gotcha.
And, that's for Mythic Legions. Clouds are painted this way. That was one of the funny things, is Tom had painted some fire on something. I was like, no, like, I love Tom. Tom is actually a neighbor of mine that literally lives 2 blocks that way.
Oh wow.
And he and I go back to our previous lives in children's software education. Children's educational software. So I've had experience working with Tom, and I've, he's like one of us, honestly. Someday I hope one of you guys will pull him onto your show. I think you would enjoy that. He's great.
Absolutely
Good guy. We even go all the way back. Curtis, you would appreciate this. We go back to He-Man.org days. Like, we were on those forums together also. So, I mean, he's been a part of this community. He's always kind of been in the background and just more of an observer for the most part, but he's a very talented artist, good guy to work with. And so we still look for those kind of guys, if that makes sense. Like, it's one thing to be an artist, but it's even better when you're connected into the toy world, even more so. Like, you kind of have to have that toy.
It feels like you guys have a very similar style too. Like, it doesn't, when I see some box art or whatever, some stuff that's done by him, it's not like, oh, well, this is a complete departure from what we've known. Like, it feels like it's very similar. Yeah.
So some of the things that help with that, hopefully that helps. Part of it is I want Tom to be able to express himself as an artist. Like, we don't tell him to necessarily copy my stuff exactly. With Mythic Legions in particular, we've kind of, because it's been me the whole time, that has established the level of where it should be. And so we try to make sure that the artwork is still reflective that way, but new property confirmed. I have to think about that. Is there? I actually don't think.
If you said it, I missed it.
No, he said it's like pretty much every year there's a new property being added. So they're deciphering from that.
Almost like not confirmed. No, but anyway, no, I'm pretty sure there's not another line coming. I say that, famous last words. There are going to be surprises at G-Con that I don't know about. So anyway,
so some of your role is more kind of overseeing these projects then.
Exactly. So for example, what everybody just has in hand right now, the Jersey Devil. The way that worked was I did the concept for the box. Like, I did a color treatment on it. I did I kind of kind of laid out, look, this is what the box should have all on it. You know, there should be ruins. It should be in the forest. It should be in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. It should be, you know, I kind of want to go with this color palette because it's not a Halloween figure, but it is our fall figure that will be released at Halloween time. So I wanted to make sure. In fact, there was at one point where I had the snow in there, and Jeremy kind of came back and was like, this feels like a Christmas box. And part of that, this is the funny thing. So Tom is very, how do I say this? He's not OCD. Maybe he is a little OCD. Like, he's very good at just like describing everything in a painting. Like every needle on a pine tree. Like, he's going to paint every needle, kind of like he really, when you get in and look at his artwork, I've had to kind of tell him to loosen up a little bit. Because I'm kind of the opposite. I'm a little more impressionistic. I'm looking more at lights and colors and shapes. And he wants to describe everything. And so I want to let him do his thing, but his first draft of some of the pine trees, they were just too perfect. You know what I mean? And it was just like, I'm like, no, we can't. This is going to be.
And then you told him to Frazetta it up a bit.
Exactly. There you go.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Speaking of OCD, I don't know for sure if I do or not, but who decided to not put the faces on the sides of the last two Figure Obscura boxes?
To not put the faces?
Yeah.
Part of that, with Ganesha and with the Jersey Devil.
Now I don't. There's no on what would be like the spine of the book side.
Right.
There's no headshot like the other ones.
You can blame me. You can throw me under that bus.
Okay.
For Ganesha, I had moved it over. I needed the real estate to kind of tell that story with the mango. And so I had moved, his head just fit better over the bio at that point. And then, however,
Jersey Devil's got that article on the side.
Is that what it is?
I believe so.
But the head is still on the outer cover. Is it not?
I don't remember.
Anyway, neither here nor there. The Jersey Devil box is also the same size as the Ganesha box. And I remember that changed almost like we were done with the artwork. And Chris kind of came back to us and went, sorry, because we had painted the Jersey Devil box on a standard size Figure Obscura box. Chris came back and said, nope, the wings aren't fitting, nothing's fitting, so we have to go to the Ganesha size box, which as an artist, you're like, great. Like, now all of a sudden I went from a canvas that's only this wide to a canvas that's like this wide. And what do you do with all that? So Tom did a great job just filling it in and making it all work and that kind of a thing. But
so you took the art, put it on the computer, and you said, AI, expand this out, and then went from there.
Oh, let's not go there.
That's not how you did it? Okay.
Not how he did it.
I thought that's how that was done.
Confession time. Photoshop does have this wonderful ability where you can fill an area. You can make a selection and fill an area and have it be content aware, which is using AI to some level, because it goes in and says, okay, but also Photoshop has had a long history of using clone stamp tool and heel brush tools and stuff like that to kind of fill in an area. So a lot of the coding, I don't know exactly how it works, but it feels more like that, more so than AI. But like, for example, in this scenario where Chris comes back and says, hey, the borders have changed on this package. Sometimes I will go in, and if there's only like an inch or a half an inch that needs to be painted, I will absolutely fill it with content aware, but then I go back into it and make it make sense.
And then you throw a little Easter egg in there that people don't pick up on, and then you're like, haha, they didn't catch it.
Sometimes I do this. Yeah. But anyway, it's so like I said, with Jersey Devil, I did the concept work. I did the head illustration that goes on the pin and the t-shirt. But the rest of it was all Tom. Like, it was my concept, but he took it all the way to completion, and it's just gorgeous.
So with that being said, with your role kind of changing a little bit, does that affect the like your presentation at intern? Because I know you had said last night that intern's a little bit different this year as far as the breakout sessions go. So can you talk a little bit about what that's going to look like this year?
It'll be very similar to the way it was last year, because, well, I guess the news that's being spread out about right now is that I will have a full hour this time. I'm not splitting an hour with Trevor, and Trevor will also have a full hour to himself. Which I don't know how that's going to work exactly, or if somebody lost an hour somewhere. I don't know what happened, but either way, both Trevor and I are getting our full hour. And so I will still I'll talk about a lot of the same stuff that I would talk about. But it does give me more demo time. And in some of that demo time, I think it will change a little bit in that I'm gonna focus a little more on what my kind of approach is for some of the artwork that I'll do. Like, for example, Mythic Legion castle tower buildings. In my mind, Mythos, there's some rules that I've kind of set for myself there, and I'll talk more to that at the presentation. But kind of to allow the interns that are there kind of see a little bit more what's in my head when I'm working on a piece. That's the only real thing that's going to change. The other changes that will happen for me at the studio, it's still all the 2D art related stuff, but Eric wants to use me more for, as we create new stuff, he wants me involved more in the creation of that, I guess, for lack of a better word. I'm trying to be careful about what I say, because it could be things, but at the same time, he's wanting a little more of because I do have a past history with the studio of doing, like character designs and B-sheet designs for figures and stuff like that. Some of it is along those lines. Some of it is more just branding for the company. A lot of it is just, I think he's making me grow up in my artwork at the studio.
Gotcha.
It was early on in my days joining the Legion's community, but isn't that kind of how the Noble Baertsch set came about? Was based off of some of your ideas?
Yeah. So we're hoping to see more of that kind of collaboration between Eric and I. Yeah.
Nice. So I know one thing that, well, let me backtrack, because there was something else I wanted to talk to before that. We'll get into Norsemver in a second.
Yes.
But there's also a lot of other stuff going on. Like last year, they talked about, like, we've heard about this cosmic comic book, I guess, coming out. We've got the 10-year book, which is said to feature some of your art in the 10-year book, as well as the lore book that's coming out that's going to have some of your art. So, and you'll go ahead.
The role-playing game, I'm assuming some of your art will make it into those books or something in that regard as well.
Yep.
So how, I don't want you to give away anything that you can't, talk about, but as far as like the stuff that you've been able to work on that, like, I think the 10-year book, it's already been solicited and all that kind of thing.
It's done at the printers. Yeah.
Yeah. So like how involved were you in that stuff, and how do you manage all these different things going on kind of simultaneously?
The 10-year book, I could speak quickly to that. That's mostly Jeremy threw that together. And Jeremy was very clean and specific with me in the sense of like, here's a page for you that talks about your involvement with the studio, kind of your story with them. And then there are just a couple, like a sprinkling of pieces that people haven't seen before that will be in the book.
Okay.
So it's just a couple, but really that book is more about Mythic Legions as a whole. And it's, what the few concepts that I might have in it are really just a small part of it. Really, that book is just an analog version of what we go to almost on the daily. And I go to on the daily, the website, look through the waves released, look at, which character is coming, which, I use it for work. Like, honestly, when we're preparing to send out a wave, I have to go through the website and be like, okay, there's the bio, there's the photos that Trevor took. I need all that stuff to put onto the packaging. And so it's really nice to have that as a resource, and it's just going to be fun to see that as a nice coffee table size book. The lore book, I had to cover up my notebook here because I didn't want anybody like zooming in on that notebook, because right on that notebook is a whole list of art needs that Jeremy has for me.
Gotcha.
And there's a lot of exciting stuff. Like we're going to see a lot of new stuff.
I would imagine in most books where there's some illustration, it's helping to show that part of the story. Like it's a part of the story that you want to kind of, visualize a little bit more than another part of the story. So is that kind of what we're talking about? Like he's giving you the setting, like, hey, here's what's going on, and boom, I need to see that.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Pretty much. And it's just a few pieces that are big like that I would say that are just like if you have the Dinotopia books, are you familiar with those? No, Jesse.
I never had them, but I wanted them desperately as a kid.
Man, I'll never forget just in the 90s sitting in a Barnes and Noble and just like staring at that book, and then finally one day my mom caught on to it and got me that book for Christmas. Oh. It's sitting back there in the shelf. But anyway, it's these gorgeous, like you're flipping along and it's telling the story of Dinotopia, and there's a lot of like what I would call spot illustrations. They're kind of sketchy, they're kind of loose. Mm-hmm. That are just kind of loosely telling you the story along with the text. But then you'll turn the page and there's just this giant 2-spread rich oil painting of this amazing environment that they're in with all the dinosaurs and all that kind of stuff. Similarly, for this lore book, we want to have a few of those kind of experiences of the big, like, look at this great scene. Jeremy has already picked him out of what he wants to see, and now I just gotta figure out when to paint it all. So yeah. And then there's also a handful of the smaller illustrations, and then likewise David Williams is helping us out with that book by handling a handful of those other spot illustration type things, and he's just contributing in his own way. Likewise, so is Trevor with his photography. So it's just going to be this smorgasbord of media to really tell the mythic story, and it's going to be
like a buffet, Curtis.
Yeah, I know what that is. Thank you, though. And then we haven't heard anything really since last year on the coloring book, or not the coloring, the comic book. Is that still a go? Is that
my understanding? Is yes. I haven't been involved with the comic book for the comic book. We have an artist that we've been working with. I can't remember if that's been announced publicly who it is or not, so I'm just going to keep quiet. But he's doing a great job. CB is handling the production on most of that. And we saw what we saw at Legion's Con. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing that a year later that hopefully more it's ready to go here soon.
Like we might hear something at G-Con, you think?
I'm hoping.
Possibly.
I don't know if though. Like I said, I have not been involved with the comic book, so I couldn't really totally speak to that yet.
Gotcha. And then like Jesse was saying, you've got, they've announced early next year RPG campaign kicking off. That one is going to go to Kickstarter so they can get some more eyes on it in the gaming community, that kind of thing. And with that, you've got a whole rule book and monsters and character creation, all this kind of stuff.
For sure.
Is that also include a bunch of art that is needed for that? Okay. I didn't know how much of that is in there.
It's not going to be just me. I think my involvement will be similar to what it is with the book, maybe even less so. But I am involved with helping out with some of the art tours that will be in that book. And that's just like, it's like an old D&D game book, right? Like you're going to flip through and you want to read up on a certain monster that shows up in the game, and there's going to have to be some artwork to show that monster as well as the write-up. And we're looking at a variety of artists for that, which is exciting. But it's not my place to announce who and what. But just to know that it's being worked on, and yes, there will be art involved in that book as well.
Yeah, and for folks out there that are interested, make sure that you are following the Kickstarter page. Hit that notify button, and also make sure that you're following the Instagram page. I know they had a Instagram post last week where they were talking about miniatures and asking if people would rather have them painted or unpainted. It seemed like in the comments it was about 50-50. Make sure that you're following that and let your voice be heard. So I definitely want them painted because I got enough shit to paint as it is. I don't need more shit to paint. But yeah,
maybe there's room for both. I hope Eric pulls a classic. Maybe we do both line from that.
Yeah, I think like a good kind of thing that they could do is maybe like paint named characters, but then also like do unpainted like Legion builder type things where you get a pack of 10 unpainted orcs or something that you can paint up and batch paint. That would be kind of cool. But like Arethyr, I don't want my version of Arethyr painted. I want their version of Arethyr painted, that kind of thing. So we'll see. We'll see what we come up with, but I'm excited for that. That should be fun.
That's going to be good. Well, and painting the miniatures is such a big part of that community anyway. Like I don't know why we would. I don't know what the final decision is going to be, but I don't know why we would want to take that away either. And at the end of the day, it may be similar to if we choose to paint them or at least put base coats or something like that on them. Who knows? Like there's a variety of options that we could look at. And regardless, I mean, that's what got me into painting anyway, was buying an action figure specifically. Man, I need to dig them out and maybe get photos of them back up on the Instagram. But I remember when the 2000X He-Man figures came out in the early 2000s, I hated the paint jobs that Mattel had done on them. And so that got me into painting my figures. That got me into customizing. That got me into understanding what acrylics were and what washes and dry brushes were. And I even ended up getting an airbrush at one point, and so it's, if you're not as an end consumer, if you're not happy with it, I mean, it's a realm where you should feel free. Likewise with Mythics, just pick it up and slap some paint on it.
Yeah, I can see that. That'd be awesome. So, and then now Norse Ember. So
Norse Ember. Yeah,
I am like so excited for this. So when we did our How They Do That, where we sat down and talked, I got to do a real deep dive into some of your older stuff, and kind of stumbled upon that. And I was like I would go picture after picture. I'm like, I want this in the line. I want that in the line. I want it just felt like a majority of that stuff fit right in with Mythic Legions. Yeah. So I am excited to see what you are going to bring this year for that. But yeah, can you talk a little bit about that and if we could potentially see any of that stuff at some point in an action figure form?
I mean, I remember, let me talk a little bit of the history of Norse Ember. That goes back. I'm good friends with Jake Parker, and I miss Jake. The guy, he lived in Utah. We worked at Imagine Learning together for a very small amount of time, but we're both like-minded geeks, and the guy is an amazing artist. If you don't know who he is, it's Jake Parker. He's done a lot of stuff for Hollywood. He's a fantastic artist, and he started Inktober. I think if anyone's an artist out there, you would know what Inktober is. Jake started it. Jake started it back when he was working with me at Imagine, and so it's just an idea of like, look, we're artists and we should discipline ourselves and we should be working all the time. And his whole take on Inktober was, so many artists are afraid to just pick up a pen and ink something because it's so permanent. And he said, as an illustrator or an artist, you really need to break yourself from that and you need to just go for it. And so that's what Inktober was kind of for at the beginning. And it's become this huge, huge thing. Fast forward a couple of years later, I think it was either 2016 or 2017 was when I first started Norse Ember. And it was just for me. Like I did it really just for me. Because that's my heritage. I'm I'm Norwegian, I'm Scottish, I'm Swedish. I'm as white bread as you could be because all my ancestry is from that part of northern and Western Europe. And so I've always loved Norse mythology. And I thought, well, this is just going to be my thing that I'm going to try to do. And the first year that I did it, it focused mostly on actual Norse mythology, and it was just pencil drawings. It was just me exploring that world and in my sketchbook, and just
like different Norse gods and tales and things like that.
Yep,
okay.
Exactly. And so I would jump into it that way. And then either the second or the third year, I've only done it 3 years because then I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I became a bishop in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And that ate up just about any free time I had. So I kind of had to let it go for those 5 years. I've recently been released as bishop, so I'm going to have a little bit of that time back. And after our conversation, Curtis, I'm like, no, I got to get back into Norsember. A good friend of mine even made me a stamp, a little rubber stamp that says Norsember on it. And
that's cool.
So the whole idea, anyway, the last year that I had done it, I had focused on Norse mythology type action figures,
Mm-hmm.
which actually harkens back to another thought I had like back in 2012, which was to do a line of Viking action figures for Glyos with Matt Dowdy and that whole world. And again, I've never had a shot to really go for it. So as I approach Norsember this year, it's probably going to be a mixed bag of both. Largely because there's Legions Con, and I'm going to be busy with Legions Con in November. But I'm still going to take out my sketchbook, and I'm going to doodle. I'm going to do something each day, kind of a thing. And yeah, it'll either be Norse. Some of it will be me re-entering that world and studying up on various different creatures from Norse mythology and trying to depict those. And I'm going to be thinking about this Vikos line some more, and with a lot more seriousness, and I'm going to be approaching. I mean, Matt and I are already in talks about it, but there's a lot of decisions to be made. I feel horrible on some level. Like as a creator, you almost never want to publicly say, "Hey, I'm going to do this thing," because the minute you do that, it like takes all the wind out of the sails of the thing.
Yeah, and then life happens, and you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah,
right, and that's still a risk for me, but at the same time, I've been public enough about it. I've made posts about it. People have seen it out there. People know about it. Even people in the Glyos community, they'll talk to me about it. It's like, what are you doing with these Vikings? And, that kind of a thing. So it's like, it's time. Now is the time.
Yeah.
Can I make a request?
You can, sure.
If just putting it out there, I really like the character. It's not really a character, I guess, but I don't know if I'm going to say it right. Golan Combi, the rooster.
Yeah, the rooster
that kicks off Ragnarok. I would definitely get a Glyos of little rooster guy. Oh, for sure.
That'd be awesome.
I did a couple years ago at my job at the Artworks, the frame shop. We had a thing where the people who were artists that worked there, we were kind of having like a monthly challenge where we would do like, all right, do a cardinal this month, or do something winter themed or something. And I only did it every now and then. They did one for chicken, so I drew a Golan Combi standing on the horn, and no one bought it. It's like tucked behind a chair somewhere here.
Oh wow, I'd love to see that. That sounds awesome. That'd be very cool. It's clipped, but yeah, it's it's still near and dear to my heart. It's not dead in any shape or form, in at least as far as I'm concerned. And the other cool thing is, I'm talking about having it be a part of Mythic. Man, I would love for that to happen in some way, shape, or form, either in Mythic or something else. But Eric is, the whole wave of the Einsamal wave, as well as the Rising Suns wave. We're getting a lot of Viking stuff happening in Mythic Legions, and I'm all for it. I'm loving it, and it doesn't take away from me. It doesn't, as a creator, I'm not feeling like Oh, well, I guess Eric is just going to do it in Mythic, and so I don't need to do it anymore. That's
Right.
all. If anything, it's added inspiration for me. But then likewise, for my stuff, I want to focus more on the creatures, like the Vatir, the trolls, the giants, that kind of stuff. The various creatures that are all over the place in Norse mythology, stuff that influenced Lord of the Rings, stuff that, all of that. So
this is for anybody that doesn't know, this is Nate Baertsch Designs on Facebook, which I didn't know existed until we did our How'd They Do That. But some cool stuff in here, like this stuff here, where like I didn't know this even existed until we did our thing, and I'm like, it's cool to see where this stuff came from, and to think that we might at some point get some more of this kind of stuff that is coming from your head. Sounds really cool. So like that's like, this is what we had. Like, we have this in figure form now, right?
Yeah.
And this was from back in 2020.
Yep.
So yeah, I man, some of this stuff is pretty awesome. So
Good
like
time.
this one here, like I would, if they redid, like we got a new version of a troll, because I feel like that troll body it's pretty much run its course. But if they did a new troll and we got something like this, like, yeah, heck yeah.
Oh,
I'm all about it.
very cool.
So, yeah, I mean, just some really cool stuff in here. I know we looked at this last night on PGG, but like I would buy all three of those. So
Whether in Glyos or Mythic or both, or yeah.
I mean, I would prefer Mythic, but I'm just not a huge Glyos person. But that might be the thing that gets me into Glyos.
Technically, everybody's a huge Glyos person.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Like these, like,
Oh yeah, all right, sign me up.
Right?
Yeah.
like this is, I feel like this is what we need, some beefy females, like I think this would be awesome. And not necessarily always human either, right?
Right. Yeah, if these were in Mythics, these would be probably ogre scale, or maybe even bigger, because they're supposed to be female giants,
Right, like the frost giants kind of thing.
Exactly, frost giants. Loki married one of these kinds of ladies in my mind. It's what the heck? What did she look like? What was that?
Yeah, I mean, these designs are awesome.
Loki, the stories I remember, he hooked up with a lot of different
He did. Yeah.
things. I don't think he's too picky.
all the gods and goddesses, it was just a free for all.
True.
Yeah.
True.
And I definitely want this little guy.
Oh, man.
Like, I think like this on the M scale body, I'm like, that's like my number one wish for Mythic Legions right now.
That guy's near and dear to me. Yeah, he's basically a land spirit, or a land vatir, as they would say. And it's yeah, he's a cool little dude.
Yeah, this is 2018.
Yeah,
we're going back a bit, so
going back a ways.
Yeah, this is,
and I know it's not your property, like the character, but every time I see, I love that the Beast Woman blow up from the back of the one box or whatever from Masters.
Yes. Yeah, I hope that. I mean, she's been featured a few times now on the Masterverse boxes. I would love them to make her. Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, we talked on your show, Curtis, just about Smurfs in general, and just like gnomes and that kind of a thing. And it's just like, yeah, I've always been a fan of the smaller folk, as it were.
Yeah, I think that new M scale, like that new scale, is gonna open a whole bunch of different things that, I don't know. Like I could see new goblins on that scale. Actual imps, like they're calling it M scale, but we don't have any imps yet.
Right.
So it'd be cool to get those. I just can't wait to see what else we get on those bodies. So look at that.
Yeah, shield.
Yeah.
That was me trying to be inky. Like I'm honestly, drawing in ink scares me too. So I had to suck it up, buttercup, and get into it myself. So
yeah, and look at that. I like that. That's a good photo right here, right? We don't need this other. We don't need this side of the screen right here, but just
Hey, bite your tongue.
I got it right across from me. I got it upstairs. I got it in like three rooms of my house. I've got this Hera. So
did you ever do prints of that together?
I don't
of both of them.
I don't think I did. I think I've only done the prints of the Hera.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
well, if you ever do,
this looks like Faunus, and then is this Joran?
Joran.
Yep. Joran.
And then
Balam.
Who's that?
Or Balam?
Oh, Balam. Gotcha.
Balam. That's what it is. The cat guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then the castle in the background. Yeah. I mean, that's awesome. Love it.
It's fun.
But it sounds like Jesse said, if you ever do that together, let him know.
And there you're seeing all Inktober stuff. Like I did play in the Inktober land. There it is, hashtag Inktober.
Yeah.
Back in 2016, I did it.
Like I mean, I would love this guy as an ogre as a troll.
Cool stuff. Yeah.
Like, dude, with spiky shoulders and stuff. Like, heck yeah. That'd be cool.
I don't know. I don't say this since I know some people take this the wrong way. I like your style. Like, I love your mythic and your like all that stuff. But I like these more like illustrator ones where like you play with the proportions a little bit, like the chunkier legs or like the way the forearms go, not full on like Popeye, but like I really like that look.
Yeah, man, you're going.
I mean,
you're going back.
Yep, we're way back now. We're in the way back machine.
One of the old blue wizards.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love the sketch stuff. Like the finished stuff is cool, but like seeing the in progress
that's what I need to get back into again. Because one of the benefits of having an office job is that you go to office meetings that are just boring, where you always take your sketchbook and doodle, and then magic happens.
See, that's
I don't have.
I'm not. Listen.
Like I'm heads down and focused on the job that I have, and I don't have time to get bored and to doodle.
I don't speak for the entire community here. I just speak for Curtis Akerman, but I would much rather have a sketch from Nate Baertsch than an oil painting from Nate Baertsch. Like,
sure.
if you just did doodles and you had those at your table, I'd buy those in a heartbeat. Like, I think that,
there is a magic
that is something that would be more desirable to me.
Yeah, there's a magic to a sketch in the sense that a lot of times when you're as an artist is sketching, they're just kind of trying to dump whatever is in their head onto paper. And then they're letting the relationship of what's in your thoughts and what's happening on paper kind of intermingle for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hope it lands on a good idea. And I find the more I just let go and let it happen, that those are the best sketches. Those are always the best sketches. If I try to think too much about it, I ruin them. They get stiff. They get weird. I
think this stuff is just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's fun.
It's like life and existence. It's beautiful because it's temporary. It's a sketch. It doesn't have that fully rendered permanence of like a fully rendered, tablet drawing or oil painting. I mean, even an ink sketch, feels more permanent.
Yep.
Sketches feel more like this is probably going to get. It's like a whisper between friends, like a secret.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I would say that to get a sketch from an artist is maybe the most intimate.
Yeah.
And, not in a weird way, but what I mean is, just in that it's like getting their autograph, but it's more. You know what I mean? Because it's It's what was real in that moment when it happened, and it's there, and now it's on your wall, or it's in your possession, and you do with it whatever you're going to do with it.
Blake says your artwork is absolutely amazing.
Thank you, Blake. Looking forward to seeing you, man.
Freaks Figures says love Hera so much. She's an awesome character. Hera rocks.
Yep.
We did have a question here. Maverick was asking about the getting those packaging art shelf backdrops. So I know you had mentioned something about that last night.
Yep.
Any kind of like, when would people potentially be able to see something like that?
Legion's Con. Cool. So Legion's Con, I'm going to be offering 4 different prints. At least I think this is the same thing, but they're cut 15 by 15 inches by 15 inches, which I believe is DTOLF size. Curtis, you would know because you have like
it's like 50. It's like 15 by 14 or 15. I don't know. It's somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, the question Jeremy is asking, how much will they be? They'll be $20 per
cube
per background. And there's 4 of them. There are 2 cosmics and there's 2 mythics. The 2 mythics we've seen before. It's the Necronominous background for the bad guys, and it's the Towers of Ophidian that you saw in the Poxus packaging. And then, hopefully you don't have to sell a kidney. Man, that's dedication. Liam, hopefully we can meet and chat sometime. Don't sell a kidney. And then for cosmics, it's going to be this thing, but squared 15 by 15 so that it'll fit nice. Good backdrop for your figures. And then the other cosmic one is one nobody has seen yet because it's for Ox Crew 2.
Oh, okay.
2. And it's yeah.
Well, Alberto agreed with me. Says he values a sketch better than a finished product.
I thought you were just going to say Alberto agreed with me and go on to the next comment.
It. Just move on. Alexander was saying he loves the movement in your sketches. I know we pulled up that one that I think you said it was like a younger version of Yoda, and it had like the wind was blowing like the soft goods and stuff. Like, yeah, just very cool. Any chance that we could see an art of Nate Baertsch coffee table book?
I mean, the Mythic Lore book will kind of be that.
Gotcha.
But that's going to be so Mythic focused, and that's more about the whole relationship of Mythic Legions, Jeremy's storytelling, Eric's storytelling, my art, Trevor's photography, Dave's art. So it's going to be an intermingled thing. I know a lot of artists do, and for the longest time I fought doing any kind of a sketchbook or a collection of my work, but maybe someday. Maybe someday it's got to happen. My kids are going to have to make money off my art somehow eventually.
Gotcha.
We should do a book or 2.
They're going to be taking your art and making figures of it. It's going to be like the Frazetta stuff where you got like 5 companies making the same figure.
Oh my God. All the kids are going to be fighting with each other. It's going to be great. That's exactly what I want. I'm sure that's exactly what Frank wanted. But anyway.
But yeah, folks, check out Nate Baertsch Designs on Facebook. Also, make sure you're following him on Instagram because we are a couple weeks away from Norcember, and I can't wait to see what awesome stuff he's going to have. It's going to be cool. So
it's going to be fun.
Now at Legion's Con, you're in the room in there with like the armory and all that kind of stuff, right? Okay.
I'm a little like Trevor. On some level, I kind of wish I could be out on the floor with everybody else, but I also understand why that can't happen. And on some level, it's nice to have. I mean, I get to have my neighbor Chris. We're gonna have a good time. I get to.
He doesn't watch the show. You don't have to say anything nice.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, he's not gonna
say anything nice about Chris.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, it's
I'm just teasing.
Yeah, Chris is awesome. I'll
he is.
I'll try to make sure no old people try to steal his Jesus figures. But yeah, I'll be in that big room. The other thing I love about that room is the Glyos all the
Mhm.
Glio crew is just right across the hall, and you'll see me bounce. I'm pointing at the screen like you can see what I'm seeing, but just imagine me walking back and forth behind George and pinching him on the butt each time.
Oh, I can imagine that. I
Yeah.
was already imagining it anyway.
While I go back with Matt and all of our friends over in the mini Glycon experience. And then it's so much fun. Like I loved last year being able to watch the armory experience and people go through the armory experience and just to see them like interact with the figures in that way and be so excited about what they had. I loved it when people came, like they come right out of that armory experience and they come over to my table and they're like showing me like, look what I built, you know, kind of, it's like, I don't need you to buy a print. I just want to see what you built.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. Let's geek out together because I love this stuff just as much as everybody else does. It's going to be fun to have Icon Heroes there. A lot of you guys don't know who that is. It's Pat. He's a long time friend of our studio. He is what got us the Castle Grayskull job in many ways, way back when the studio was doing classics, because he wanted to do these environmental statues, and he went to Mattel, and Mattel was like, well, if you're going to do it, you have to work with Four Horsemen Studios on the designs. And that's what opened the door to me and Eric designing the other sides of Grayskull, you know, which is that was a big deal for us. But,
yeah, because there was no real source material for that, right? Like you're kind of imagining what it would be like, right?
Right. And so I very much went to the source, which was Mark Taylor in my mind. Like Mark Taylor is the visual source for Masters of the Universe. Like it's his baby. It's what came out of his head. The other marketing guys sure had input and influence. There was Ted Mayer, who was a very good friend of Mark Taylor's, that also he worked together with Mark, and that created a lot of the visual language for what would become Masters of the Universe.
Roger Sweets, bong.
Bong. He was a marketing guy. He claims a lot of things, but I question it. Like as an artist, though, I look at what Mark did, and I look at what Roger Sweet did, and I'm like, yeah, Mark did this. Mark created this. This is out of his head. But that's a debate for another day. Anyway, long story short, I looked at a lot of Mark's original takes on what the castle was, and so I pulled a lot of what I did out of what Mark already had going on. So in many ways, it's like, yeah, we designed the other sides of it, but the whole time I was really just trying to honor what was established. It wasn't about Nate or Eric designing it. It was about, gosh dang it, what would have Mark done?
WWMD.
Anyway, all that to say, I don't know what that was, a complete tangent. Sorry, but that's Icon Heroes, and we've worked with Pat. He does his own toys. He whenever the studio is out at San Diego Comic-Con, we're usually bunked in with the Icon Heroes booth, and they've been a big supporter of the studio for a long time.
Very cool.
I'm excited for this up here too. This whole sideshow thing. Like,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
I'm not sure what it's going to be, but
people are going to be happy.
And I also don't know why they need two tables. So I'm, because most of the rest of this stuff is pretty similar to last year, but that's different.
That's different. And I have good friends from Sideshow that are going to be there, and I'm excited. I'm very excited about it.
Jesse.
I know you can't give any specifics. I'm not asking for specifics, but do you know what the Sideshow Four Horsemen thing is yet?
I have an idea. Like,
okay.
Yes, I do know what.
That's good enough.
Yeah. I almost said something, and
I don't want you to get in trouble. I'm just curious. Like, obviously, it's very tight, because it's Four Horsemen, but it's Sideshow's thing, and nobody wants to know what it is. I'm just curious if you had an inkling. So that's cool. You might have an idea.
I haven't. No, you could say I have an inkling. I know what's going to be there. I know what's going to be.
Okay.
And hang on to your butts.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wait, is someone going to be running around with a sword cutting butts off?
Maybe.
Sorry.
All right. All right, hang on to your butts, people.
Never mind. There's no point in explaining why I said that.
It's all
So, unlike most people at the studio, you are not anywhere close to New Jersey.
no,
So,
not anywhere. I'm 2 hours away.
meaning
in time, 2 hours away. Yeah.
yeah. So it's doing a vending table at Legion's Con. What does that entail for you to get there, get set up? Do intern first, right? You got the intern thing, and then you got G-Con, and then after G-Con, they've got to clear that room out and then get ready to set up. And tell us a little bit about what that's like for you.
It's fun and it's fine. I try to stay as streamlined as possible, and thank goodness I have Len LaGuardia in my back pocket, so to speak.
Yeah.
He handled my prints this year. Jesse, thank you. Jesse, thank you for previous years. I am sure I will still come back to you at some point. Obviously not for this year. I don't think there's time. But in future years, I'll probably still want to do some big stretched canvases again. But
cool.
If you've come to my table and seen those big, beautiful stretched canvas prints, that's coming from Jesse's shop. This year, I'm not going to have those. I'm going to have the Detolf pieces, and I'm going to have Legacies prints that are going to be smaller than previous years. So they are going to be a 9x6 instead of 11x17. So they're going to be a little more travel friendly, and there's more to choose from, and they will be cheaper. So that's an option. So in terms of like all of the setup and the rigmarole, like, let me tell you what my week looks like. I fly in Wednesday in the middle of the night, and I get to the hotel probably about midnight Thursday morning, right in that transition. I'll probably say hey to any of the fans that are in the lobby that are there, and then try to sneak away up to my room and get some sleep, because I've got to wake up and get our heinies to the studio to do intern. That all happens on my laptop. Hopefully everything is sorted out of the studio, so I'll have a place to sit at. I'll plug in and get going. Obviously, my presentation is kind of prepared beforehand, so I have that going for me. So it's just a matter of me getting into my spot, setting up, and then I'm good to go. G-Con happens. G-Con is like Christmas morning for me.
Yeah.
Because it's the first, while I am aware of what's going to be revealed, I won't have seen all of the figures and all of the things. I won't see them put together or painted or anything like that. And a lot of guys at the studio are that, like CB is kind of in that same boat. Some studio people are kind of in the similar spot where it's like, wow, this is the first time I'm seeing this figure completely assembled, and it's exciting. It's really cool. So yeah, I'll be in the back because I'm a studio guy trying to soak it in, opening up the presents, as it were, just being able to see what they are and getting all excited about it. Because again, I'm just as big a geek about all this stuff as everybody else. I'm super excited to see what the reveals are going to be. G-Con happens, and then and it's off and running it's a lot of partying in the evenings and good times, and this is why we love what we do. It's like a beautiful holiday, where it's been described that way, and I feel it's that way, where we're celebrating each other. We're just glad to be in the same room and being able to geek out, and then Legion's Con. And again, for me, from my perspective, it's pretty simple. I throw out some prints and I set up my table, and I'm good to go.
So for you, like when it comes to the art and stuff, like it's well into the production process before you're doing that, right? Like, so it's not like the stuff that they're revealing at G-Con this year, like you're not going to start on that till what, middle to end of next year? Like it's going to be a while, right?
It'll probably be about this time next year.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you may see things that you don't even know are coming potentially.
Right. Oh, easily.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like Eric has shot me a few things, but they're work in progress, and it's gray ZBrush renders. You know what I mean? It's like I have an idea of what it is, and I can kind of imagine what the final thing's going to be what's going to look like. But then Sherry gets a hold of it, and Cameron gets a hold of it, and Joe gets a hold of it, and they paint them up. And I may have had an idea in my head of what it might look like, but I don't. And it's so exciting to see them in person.
So does that, like, when you see those reveals at GCon, does your head automatically start moving towards what that's going to look like in terms of box art and stuff like that?
Like last year at Bayatheer, I have in my head what the Bayatheer box is likely going to be.
It's a lot of real estate.
It is a lot of real estate. But the minute I saw the dragon, I knew it's like, I'm not going to say it's like a visionary experience, but maybe it is a little bit kind of a visionary experience, because you see the figure and then your imagination just starts playing. You know, it's like, well, what would be the background for this? And should I run with that? Or, you know, you start thinking of other scenarios. It's like, well, maybe I could depict it this way or that way. And then you kind of settle on a concept. And when I work with the horsemen, it's kind of funny. Most of the stuff that you see on the boxes it's kind of my first take, which is really weird and rare in the art world. Especially when you're dealing with a lot of art directors, or you're dealing with studios and stuff like that. You know, they want to see concepts, and then they have to pick it, and then the marketing guys have to come in and say their piece, and it gets kind of convoluted, and at some point then it feels like a job. For the most part, thankfully, whether it's me being in tune with what Eric wants, or he just trusts me enough and he just kind of lets me go, or maybe it's a combination of the two. But for the most part, most things that I get to paint up, it's just like, he's like, yep, you're good. Just do what you do. And
I think that's one of the benefits of them owning their own company, right? That they're not having to answer to shareholders or, you know, any kind of board of executives or, you know, any of that. Like they like making toys, and they're going to make toys the way that they want to make them, with people that they enjoy doing this with. And it's just really a cool thing. Like, you know, so.
And it's not every time. Like every once in a while, Jeremy might come back and have some feedback on something, or Eric may not be feeling it, and but whenever Eric isn't feeling something, it's not a, you did it wrong, do it again. It's never that.
It's like, why? Tell me why you did this.
Yeah.
way.
It's like, what can we do more here? Or why did you take this approach? And then you have a conversation with them, and then we come to a place together again where it's like, yep, that's where we need to go. And it's awesome.
That's very cool. Is that Bayatheer, the canvas, so to speak, going to be the largest thing that you've ever worked on?
Probably.
Did you work on the box for Snake Mountain or Castle Grayskull?
I did not. No, the classics Grayskull was Rudy Obrero, and gosh dang it, I forget the artist's name. He's an amazing artist that did Snake Mountain for Super 7. But those are big.
Size wise, I was like, those are the only two things I could think of that might even come close to that box. But
yeah, no, I think Bayatheer's box is maybe bigger than the Snake Mountain box was.
Wow, that was a huge box too.
It was a big box. And what's interesting is with Bayatheer, it's 3 boxes. So the question we ask, I can probably answer it already. Like in a perfect world, and if I could paint at 3 times the speed that I paint, then I would love to do 3 different boxes. But most likely what will happen is we'll have one big piece of artwork that will be on all 3 boxes. But then we'll probably do other things.
You mean like for the add-on sets?
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
Like,
so
like in a perfect world,
not 3 boxes just for Bayatheer, but 3 boxes for, like, 1 for Bayatheer, 1 for the fire, and 1 for the. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And you never know, it may work out. Like I work with Tom, and maybe we pull on another artist, and maybe the 3 of I don't know what the budget is yet for the artwork, other than if I were to guess, they're going to be like, no, just get 1 painting done, and it's going to go on all 3 boxes, and that'll be fine. That would be fine. But the artist in me is like, but they could be 3 paintings, and that would be awesome. And then the other side of me is like, and I want to play with my friends, so it could be 3 different paintings from 3 different artists, it would be awesome. You know, I'm not going to promise or say what's going to happen necessarily, but because that's a conversation we still need to have. We know what the size of the boxes are. And I need to get from Chris die lines, and we need to get from the factory what is the realistic timeline for this painting to be happening. Most likely, I should be working on Bayethir right now. Most likely, I'm late already.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know what the wing box would be look like, but the fire add-on set, like if you did that as a separate that could be pretty cool.
That could be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with that knight that has the, you know, like the translucent parts and stuff. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Trevor, I think there's enough real estate on that friggin' box. I mean, let's be honest. Just one face of that box is still going to be the biggest canvas. And we've still got to figure out what's on the back of the box and what's on the sides of the box. So who knows? Who knows, Trevor?
Do you and Trevor ever get to like coordinate on things? Like, I know, you know, obviously the two of you are very involved in what we see from the Horseman in terms of your art and his photography. Have you ever had a project where you actually are working like hand in hand together on?
That would be difficult, I imagine, because A, you're not in the same room, and B, you need your hands to photograph and draw. So they can't work hand in hand for this.
The only time that I would say that we worked hand in hand would have been on Ox Crew.
Yeah. Jesse cracks himself up. As if I was literally saying that you're holding each other's hands as you're working. So go ahead. You're fine.
It's I can think of when we did Ox Crew, Eric wanted us to for the reveal at PowerCon when it was first revealed, he wanted me to do concept sketches so that Trevor, when he was doing the photography for the reveal, could kind of match because the Ox Crew narrative is so specific. They're landing on Thraxon, which is a planet. What does that planet look like? That was very important to Eric. And so he wanted me to do some really rough concepts first. And that's when I decided it's like the sky on Thraxon is green for whatever reason. And the dirt and the earth, as it were, was going to be reddish and purplish in tones and that kind of a thing. But it also influenced what Bill was doing for the diorama. You know what I mean? We knew the skate backs would blend into the environment. So that gave us some information on what the rock should look like. And that's the only back and forth that I can think of where we did work a little bit hand in hand, as it were.
Very cool.
And I would like to do more of that. That was a fun interaction. It was a good time. And it's carried through the current Ox Crew boxes. It'll carry through on the second wave. You'll see a slight shift in things when you look at the second Ox Crew 2 artwork. And then I'm excited to see where we go with Ox Crew 3.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I know that like when Trevor's doing his like the the shots for it, and like sometimes he'll use like a monitor in the background or something, or some sort of a bunch of diodes and stuff. It would be cool. I mean, obviously you're not getting involved in the box art till later on, but if somehow your art made it into his photography and like it worked together, that would be kind of cool.
That would be awesome. That would be really cool. Has that happened?
I don't think so, but that would be awesome. That would be cool.
I think, yeah.
So, Nate, it is the time of the show. I'm not sure if you've been watching us at all this year, but it's a little story time. So, at one point in Jesse's life, he went to a movie, and the movie was Fun with Dick and Jane, the Jim Carrey classic, as it were. And he got there with his friends, and it was before the movie started. The only people in the theater were him and his friends, and then a few rows in front of them was a guy and a lady and what appeared to be her parents. Okay. And that's everybody in the theater. It's before the previews even start, right? There's like where they're running the ads on the monitor and stuff. And so like some real sappy, like romantic music comes on. It's like a beach scene or something like that. And it comes across the screen. It says, "Will you marry me?" And the guy kneels down and he's proposing to this lady in the movie For Fun with Dick and Jane at the theater. And Jesse starts booing them relentlessly, just booing this couple that is getting ready to start their journey in life.
Right.
Now, I and the people watching here do not know what Jesse's motivation was, why he booed them. We also don't know what impact that had on that poor couple. So this is the time of the show where you have an opportunity to tell us what you think happened in that situation. What caused Jesse to boo them and what impact it had on them. And then at the end of the year, we're going to find out from Jesse which person was actually the closest. So, so I'm going to put you in the big seat here. And this is your time to tell us what you think happened in that situation.
Jesse didn't know these people? Or we don't know?
As far as I know, he will not talk about it till the end of the year. Okay. But as far as I know, he did not know these people.
So that door isn't shut. The thought that came to my mind was Jesse. It was an ex-girlfriend of Jesse's. And I don't know if that's been guessed before. I haven't seen but yeah, as soon as he saw the proposal happen and the girl turned, he realized who that was. And so he started saying boo.
Was this because he missed her and he didn't want that they were broken up, or was it that he was trying to save the guy from a lot of trouble because she's just not worth it?
I think it's more the second one. Yeah, he's trying to save the guy.
I'm sorry, Jesse's got a question. Yeah,
I just want to say I'm not confirming or denying anything one way or the other at this point. But I just want to say thank you for assuming that there's a list of X's, multiples. So this might be my favorite one so far.
You're a handsome dude.
All right. So Jesse boos, apparently because this is an X. What impact did that have on the couple? Did Jesse's booing strengthen their relationship? And they were like, we're not going to let anybody tell us that we can't be together, and they just forged through life together? Or did that, cause them trouble and they just didn't make it because of that? What do you think?
No, I'm thinking they plowed forward anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they continued with it because, because she had her side of the story about Jesse. I'm sure she was able to convince the poor guy that, that she was right and he was wrong.
And so now they just have a fun story to tell people like as they go through life. Let me tell you about the time that he proposed to me. Yeah.
What's that?
They tell this story like at like dinner parties and stuff. Like, let me tell you about the time that I got proposed to. And then they go into it.
Yeah. And it could have been also that the guy was wearing a Star Wars shirt and that Jesse was wearing a Star Trek shirt. Jesse, I don't know. Are you Star Wars or Star Trek?
You got it backwards.
He's Star Wars.
I like both, but I'm more a Star Wars guy.
Good man. Then he was wearing a Star Trek shirt, and Jesse was wearing the Star Wars shirt.
I'll throw you a bone here. You could say that maybe the guy was wearing a Gambit and Rogue shirt together, like in embrace, and that would definitely be a thing that would throw Jesse off. He does not like them together.
Jesse is not a Rogue Gambit. You're not.
No. He's Rogue by herself, Gambit by himself. By themselves, they're okay, but yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of
peanut butter and shrimp. Doesn't work. All right. Well, that is the story. Is that the correct one? We will find out at the end of the year.
I just got to know: was I the only one that went that route?
There's been one or two other people that said that there was some sort of history between Jesse and one of the other people, but yours was definitely a different take than what we've heard. So
nice. And yes, I agree with Van. The resting Jesse face is real.
Like I have to play up some. I got to play up something on this side of it.
I did have one question that I had started that we hadn't gotten to yet. Liam earlier had said was talking about you trying out oil painting and was wondering if there's other mediums that you have thought about exploring.
Sculpting. Yeah, I mean, I would
Like digital or clay.
Probably digital, for sure. Digital at the beginning. If I ever got into clay, I mean, there was a time. I have a little stack of Castelline right behind the monitor, right there, that has been untouched for probably 10 years, and just has a bunch of dust on it and needs to be thrown away. But I do have ZBrush.
What was it?
Like Castelline.
Oh, okay.
That's what
Castelline,
they used to, yeah.
It's actually what Eric used to use all the time also when he was doing original sculpture work. It's a wax. It's a very hard wax, but when you melt it, it smells like cigarette smoke, but it's really soft and is workable like a clay. But then if you really cook it, it will go straight up liquid. Like the reason that the guys used to use it was because you could melt it down in the microwave and pour it into molds. So Eric could sculpt something and then he could literally cast with it as well. So it's pretty cool stuff. But no, ZBrush is, yeah. Like for example, I'm just going to throw that out of the sentence right now. When I get to doing Vicos, I would like to sculpt them.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, I don't know if I will be at the end of the day. That's kind of some of the stuff that Matt and I and maybe others need to kind of try to figure out. Does it make sense for me to go full bore and it all comes from my hand, or do we pull a team together and somebody else does the sculpt and I direct the design, and we'll see.
Have you dabbled in ZBrush at all, or you'd have to? Okay, gotcha. I was like,
yeah,
you'd be learning from scratch just to.
No, if you look at on my design page and whatnot, you'll see some digital sculptures. They're nothing great. Okay. There's nothing, I've done a little head here or there, or a little monster.
Who hasn't?
Yeah. So, yeah.
That, by the way, is definitely getting clipped by PGG.
Yes, it is.
That's going to be in a video next week. Guarantee it.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah, I've dabbled in it a little bit, and I want to do more. Like there was, I'm not going to go there. We'll have to, if it happens, then it'll happen, and then we can have something else to talk about.
All righty. Well, Nate will also be on Legion's Ladies this Thursday with Tanya and Amber. So if you've been following this journey, you've seen the PGG interview, you've now seen the Shooting the Shelf interview, and then you will get to see the Legion's Ladies with their amazing questions that they ask. It's a great show. So yeah, check him out on Thursday as he completes this tour of shows. And then you can see him at Legion's Con. So.
Yep. Also the Euro Legions guys.
Oh, okay.
So I'm probably ahead of the game on them, but we did record an episode. Joe Vaspolo and I did.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. We got the
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's Joe. So much, Nate. Never enough.
Never can get enough. So yeah, check him out. And then Legion's Con, if you made it into intern, you're gonna have an amazing time. Hearing from him, and now you get the extended period. It's like if you're going to the intern for the first time, this is the best time to be your first time, because now you get a full hour of Nate, a full hour of Trevor. Mm-hmm. What could be better? So
it's gonna be good. It's gonna
exactly.
be good.
Exactly.
I do have one more question for you, Nate.
Yep.
Have you seen K-pop Demon Hunters?
I have not.
Okay.
Do I need to fix that before I come on the show again?
I highly recommend it. No. It's not a deal breaker for friendship and future communication. It's just overtaken my life almost as much as
Jesse is infatuated with it. I really like it. I think it's a really good watch. And I think most of the people that I've talked to have thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I've not ever heard bad things about it. So yeah, I need to throw it in my list of things to do.
I've run into like 2 or 3 people now that didn't like it, but for the most part, very, very well liked. So and man, it's been the top of the Netflix list now for what, like 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, something like that.
It came out, I think, in
I actually
June or
don't have
July.
Netflix. Maybe I need to get Netflix.
Well, there you go. That's the key. Yeah.
That's why. Yeah.
But they actually had, so they put it out and it was really popular, and then they put it in the movie theater with a sing-along version. And that did really well in the theaters. And then they put the sing-along version on Netflix. And for the last, month or so, both versions have been in the top 10. So like both, they're taking 2 spots in the top 10 for like the last few months. So
I'm seeing in the chat, it could be it's a new cult thing. We haven't had a good cult classic in a while.
Yeah.
It's crossing like a lot of the demographics as far as like it's like a phenomenon. Like the song's been like #1 on like actual like Billboard Pop 100 stuff, not just soundtrack stuff. And
gotcha.
And yes, someone's talking about the K-pop. I know the K-pop industry is intense. I've been learning a lot about that over the past 2 months.
Who else is intense? Stephen Bisciotti.
Steven,
he's
camping
living in one now.
His tent.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, it also, it's very big on like the Korean culture. Like there's some things that they kind of fit into there. And, there's also, I've seen a few videos on like the ladies that actually do the singing for the movie, and like how hard they had at a time to try to work into the music industry. And then like this kind of brought these 3 struggling singers together and like blowing the charts away. So, it's really cool on a lot of levels. So yeah.
Nice.
I'm not infatuated with it as much as Jesse, but I do like it a lot. So
cool.
Like after 30 years, it bumped Braveheart out of my #1 movie spot.
Wow.
It's not going to stay there because they're doing a sequel, and things with a franchise move out of the top 13 to a higher standing as long as the sequel's good.
So much there to unpack.
That much.
Starting off with, he has a top 13 list because he can't just have a top 10 list. And if it has a sequel, it automatically gets eliminated. But they have to be
like Gladiator's not on that list anymore because it got a sequel and the sequel wasn't good.
I can respect being particular about stuff.
He's got his parameters.
It's my list.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Yep.
I'm gonna unveil my top 17 list next week. So tune in for that.
I had Korean barbecue yesterday.
I have a rule though. If they have the letter A in any of the titles, it's automatic.
Do you guys have Cup Bop out there?
A what?
And what?
Do you have Cup Bop? It's a restaurant. Started as a truck. It's like a truck.
I don't believe so.
Oh, it's Korean barbecue, and it's
okay.
Oh,
I like it.
No, it's just a little local place guy. He's like a mountain climber. He's like done like the Himalayas, and I think he's done Everest. Really nice older gentleman runs it, and I actually said thank you in Korean to him yesterday when I was there, and he got a big smile on his face. I'm sure I said it wrong. He appreciated the effort. He appreciated the effort.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Well, Nate, thank you very much for being on. We appreciate you jumping on with us. This was very fun. Make sure you following him on Facebook, on Instagram. Check out the Northvember, and we hope to see all of you at Legions Con. Nate, we're going to put you backstage. If you've got to run, we totally understand. If not, hang out, and we'll be right back with you.
Right on.
All right.
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you.
See you, everybody.
Soon.
Thank you, Nate.
That's another show.
That is.
It feels like we're like really like ramping up as it gets closer to Legions Con. Like it's,
I know 3 weeks from now, and I'm not trying to be depressing, we're going to be wrapping up Legions Con with our Sunday night episode.
Mm-hmm. Which you will be there for.
I will be there for, but it also feels like the next 2.5 weeks are as much time since this year started. Like to me, like it feels so far away, but I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be leaving for Legion's Con tomorrow at the same time. Like I'm so
See, 2 weeks from this moment, I will be leaving for Legion's Con.
yeah.
So
Some of us have to work.
Which actually, I wanted to talk to you. I might want to see if we can move that show up the Sunday before Legion's Con. Maybe move that time up a little bit so that we can get on the road.
Well, you're gonna have to talk to Latin Legions and Brick. I don't want to start
The ratings war.
That's your thing.
They don't care about that. Maybe we'll do, as long as we're done. If we did it an earlier show and finished before Latin Legions, I don't know. I guess if we left,
like that much earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk about it, but I want to try to get on the road because we've got a room for Monday, but I don't want to arrive like Monday late and then not be able to do anything Monday when I get there. So we'll see. I got like a 18 hour drive ahead of me. So fun stuff.
I don't envy that. Well, hey, instead of having this conversation that we can have in private, in front of everybody and our guests
privates
politely waiting backstage, we do have a show next week.
Yeah, we got a guest next week.
We have a guest, and I have the slide ready this week.
I do like when we have or two.
Well, I mean, this person, and I know I used this last year, wears a certain number of hats that are equal to or greater than 2.
Well, we're going to have 2 people next week. We've got the director of sales for 4 Horsemen, right? And then we also have the director of marketing for 4 Horsemen.
Right. I think sales and marketing is one thing.
No, I think those are 2 separate things. We got both those guys.
So next week, Jeremy Gerard joins us. I was trying to imitate a Jim Henson picture here. I think I forgot a couple characters. But there's Jeremy with a bunch of his critters.
That's a lot of fun. I like that.
This was probably the most overambitious thumbnail slide I've designed for the show. But hey, there it is.
My favorite since the buddy cop film of J. Lo Fidelity and Alexander Deshaw.
So yeah, tune in next week. We will of course be talking about Legion's Con. If there's any last bit information, all sorts of stuff. With Jeremy, it's become kind of an annual thing that 2 weeks before the con, we get him on and just kind of chat and look forward to stuff. And in 2 weeks, I think it's fair to say, it's not super spoiler, Curtis and I will be doing our kind of like table promo specials. So if that's earlier in the day, that's totally cool, where we've got, we'll have some of our co-table people on with us talking about and showing off stuff we're going to have at Legion's Con.
Yeah. Tanya and Darla and Brian C. and me and Jesse.
Yes.
So,
hopefully I will have all my stuff done by then.
I hope I have my stuff done by then, because we're hitting the road right afterwards, and it would be really embarrassing if I didn't. So
yes.
All right.
I
think that's it.
Well, yeah. So everyone, thank you for joining us, whether you're watching us live, whether you're watching the replay, whether you for some reason fast forwarded to the last 2 minutes and this is all you watched. Thank you for that. And thank you.
Even if you were just in the comments to talk about a yellow sweater the whole time. I mean, I'm really
not thanking you. No,
to our conversation, but you were still here.
You are unthanked for that. No,
you can't unthank.
Not talking about the yellow sweatshirt.
I mean, it was a little distracting, but
the joke has run its course. It's not funny.
It definitely has. I am with you on that one, that the joke has run its course. But they stayed. They were here,
Yeah, they were here. But I'm not thanking them for the comments on that.
I'm not thanking them for the comments. I'm thanking them for being here.
Yeah. All right. Until next time, folks, as always, something or other.
What's on your shelf?
What button am I looking for? What was that, Curtis?
What's
go.